watch stuff and think that you have to jump into things like this. I'm never going to purchase something like this. Along the way, if you've seen how I was growing my business, that makes 0 sense. The most important thing of your lawn care business when you start your lawn care business, what mower is best for you? I have 4 different types of mowers behind me. One of them is actually leaving the group here in the next few days. And I'm going to go through each one, how I started my lawn care business as a side hustle, because I do have another full-time job and I do this on the side, and kind of show you how I grew and what my thinking was when starting my business. When I first started my business, this is what I used. This is what I had in my shed. And it was just to do a few lawns to make some extra money. So I do a few neighbors. I end up getting about 3 lawns that I did for the summer. And this right here is just a little 21-inch. And it actually does all the height adjusting from different 4 points. I'm sure that if you have a lawn, everybody has a mower. This is how I just started. No expense. I didn't want any debt. Nothing like that, just starting out, getting a few lawns. The most important thing was getting customers. Another great thing about this mower is it has an aluminum deck. So you won't see any rusting along the edges, nothing like that. There's not gonna ever be any rust. This thing will last forever. Once I got going and I started to get the word out that I wanted to cut some grass, I actually started getting some phone calls. And again, I had a full-time job. So I wanted to figure out a way, how can I add 4 or 5 more lawns to my 3 lawns that I've already had and still have the same time? And that's where the Time Master came in. So with this, which I used for 2 full seasons, I was able to get my lawn care business up to 10 and 15 lawns the following year. So for 2 years, I was doing 10 lawns. At the same time, I was doing the 3 or 4 lawns with a little 21-inch, because obviously this is a 30-inch mower. Now, one of the great features about this mower is it has 2 blades and it mulches really, really well in normal growth grass. It also has a bagging system, just like the 21-inch, with a mulch plug. You just pop in there, put the bag in. You can bag or mulch very simply. It also has a really nice handle for storage on a trailer, but I actually started with a cargo carrier on the back of my CRV, and I would put this on it as I put my string trimmer and blower in the hatch of it. That's the Toro Time Master. It's a great mower. Been a great mower. It is a residential mower, so if you watch some of my few past videos on how to take care of this thing, I had a few cables break and a plate break that I've had to fix, but it's no big deal. That's going to happen with this mower when you're using it every single day. This is a Snapper Pro 36-inch walk behind, but we're going to skip this because when I was growing my business, I skipped over that and I bought a 52-inch grandstand. Now this mower is the first mower that I took out a loan with and have any type of debt, if you call it debt, in my business. For this, it was 0%. I couldn't pass it up. But let me get back to why I actually had to buy this mower. Now the Toro Time Master, again, I was cutting 10 to 15 lawns with that a week. And then I started to get phone calls more and more because I was doing such a great job in my business, and the word of mouth is the best way to get your business out there. So what was happening was I was getting people with bigger properties, acres of property. So with the Toro Time Master, I had a property where I was cutting, it was about 1.5 acres, and I did that for 3 weeks before I finally said, you know, enough is enough. It's time to get this, which will cut your time in half. So with this mower, I was able to get up to 25 lawns in my business, but the same amount of time I was cutting 10 lawns, 10 to 15 lawns with the Toro Time Master. I want to point out a real good piece of advice. Along the way, if you've seen how I was growing my business, I never ever bought a piece of equipment without the use for it. I'm never going to purchase something like this if I only have 3 lawns. That makes 0 sense. So don't think when you start your business that you have to jump into something like this right away. The most important thing of your lawn care business is the people, the customers. If you don't have those, then this makes 0 sense. Just like when I started out with a 21-inch push mower just to make some side money, that's why it's a side hustle, I was generating income for 3 little tiny lawns, and 2 of them were my neighbors. And then word starts spreading that you're cutting grass, and then you get more and more customers. Then you start upgrading, but with 0 debt. Now we're going to move on to this walk behind and the reason why I purchased this. This is a Snapper Pro 36-inch walk behind. And if you know anything about walk behinds, the controls are a lot different than they are from a push mower to a grandstand, or I should say a stand-on or a sit-down zeros turn. Except for the Toro's walk behind, the controls are the same. But these controls here, it's more or less, this mower is going and you are squeezing these handles to turn the mower. The reason why I purchased this is I couldn't pass up the price for this mower for the use I need for it on a few hills and also through all my back gates that I have. Now I do not need the Time Master, so the Time Master is leaving us. So this should cut down some time having a 36-inch opposed to a 30-inch in some of the back gates. I really hope this video helped you out when starting your lawn care business, especially if you're doing it as a side hustle. Don't watch stuff and think that you have to jump into things like this until your business growth calls for it. If your growth is not calling for this, then don't do it. You can easily stick to 10, 15 lawns using the Toro Time Master, but it was more so for me, the acreage that I started getting calls for to generate more income. This made sense. This mower right here, for the price, is cheaper than a brand new Toro Time Master, so that made sense to me to get a commercial walk behind for my back gates.